Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Disney AZ. This is our second live Ask Me Anything event, and tonight we are going to talk about Disney vacation planning. So go ahead, start sending those questions in. Just want to make a couple of notes before we really dive in and get started here. First thing is that I wanted to notate that when you're planning a Disney vacation, there is everything is relative and everything is very personal. So what may work best for you may not be the best scenario for another family's vacation. So I'm going to answer these questions as best I can. Some may be a little general. I'll get into specifics if I'm able to. Um, but I just wanted to point that out. Now, the other thing is full disclosure here. I am a travel agent and I do visit Disney quite frequently. So you're getting a chance to chat with somebody that has the experience that goes to the parks. But at the same time, if you ever feel like you need help planning a Disney vacation, by all means, please reach out to me. I'll actually put my contact here. The best way to reach me is I have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/vacations by Dave. And that's the best way. You can send me a message and we can chat there. Let me put that in here real quick. So I'm going to pop that into the chat. So that way you guys will have that available. So again, feel free if you want some personal advice, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help out in any way I can. Looks like we've got our first question come through. So what do we got here? When is the least crowded time to go? You hate big crowds. Who doesn't hate big crowds at Disney? Unfortunately, that's kind of the reality we live in with Disney. Um, Traditionally, the least crowded time to go was early to mid September. The reasoning for that was most kids go back to school end of August, early September, and a lot of parents didn't want to take their kids out of school so early in the school year. Now, Disney, it's a for-profit company, so what they want to do is eliminate the least crowded times to go. They want it always crowded. So nowadays, what you're going to find is there are a lot more promos that will run through that time frame to entice people to come. But for years and years and years, it was always that time. Another good time to go is after the holidays, early January, mid January. Difference being is a lot of people go to Florida because they want the warm weather, and you're going to get more mild weather in January as opposed to September when it's going to be still blazing hot in Florida. But if I had to pick the least crowded times to go, those are probably my two favorite. You are still going to get less crowds. Now, there's different times throughout the year that are going to be more mild crowds. Don't go on the 4th of July. Don't go Christmas Day if you don't like crowds, because those are going to be the heaviest crowd days. So I hope that answered your question. Um, do we have anything else yet? I know we're still early in the program. I know last time we did this, the idea was to run it for about 15 minutes, and I felt afterwards that that just wasn't enough time. So we're going to run it a little bit longer tonight and see if we can get some more questions in. I had a lot of fun last time. I hope you guys enjoy it. So, am I missing something here? There we go. So yeah, keep the questions coming in. I'm here to answer any questions you got. So let me see what you got here. So cheapest time to go. Usually that coincides with the least crowded. The if Disney wants to bring you there. So if they're not getting that many people in the parks at that particular time of year, they are going to lower the prices to entice you to come even more. So if you want the cheapest time, that is going to be late August, early September. Unfortunately, you're still getting the Florida heat, but those two kind of go hand in hand, the least crowded and the cheapest. So unfortunately, I can't expand upon that one much further because I kind of already answered that one with the first question. I apologize. So, do you have anything else? Can you get the dining plan any time of the year? Yes. So, dining plan is available with any Disney package. So, anytime it is a room and tickets bundled together, you can add on the dining plan. Now, it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while, Disney will also offer free dining. So if you have a certain package, you can have the free dining package put on. But to answer your question, absolutely any time of the year, you can add the dining plan on. Now, a lot of people also ask me, is it worth it to get the dining plan? Now, I always say there's a couple different ways to go. Logan, I'll get to you here in just a second, buddy. Um, with the dining plan, the question always comes up, is it worth it? Now, I'm kind of repeating myself here a little bit. There's two ways to look at it. Do you get value out of it? That's the first way. Now, if you are dead set on table service meals and you feel the need that with every table service meal you're going to have dessert, or if you're going to have an adult beverage at every table service meal, I'm not going to judge. I've been there. Disney's hot, it's crowded. You need an adult beverage once in a while. So, but if you have one with each table service meal, yeah, you're going to see value out of that because you're paying less than what you would if you were paying a la carte there. But if you're the type of person that when you go to Disney, you're just getting an entree and a soft drink, the value in the dining plan might end up being a wash. Now, for some people, that's okay because the second way to look at if the dining plan is worth it is financially. Some people want to have everything paid off before they go to Disney so they know exactly what they have spent. If you're saving up for a trip, you can prepay all of your meals by having the dining plan. That way, when you arrive, really the only thing you have to spend money on is souvenirs. So, from a financial perspective, even if you're just an entree and soft drink type of eater, the dining plan could still be worth it. That way, you're not, having to worry about, okay, well, today I'm only going to have the chicken entree because it costs less than the beef entree or whatnot. You can take care of those worries and have everything prepaid well in advance. When should I get? So, Logan, your question was, when should I go to ride every ride? So, the secret to this is the Disney After Hours. So, every so often now, they're not really doing it right now, especially Magic Kingdom because of the holiday parties. But if you go not in the holiday season and you want to ride every single ride, go to an after hours event. I did one of those back in April. I just did a video on it recently. I think I was able to tackle like 17 rides within like a 3 hour time span. It was ridiculous. So if you want to go and ride every ride, spend the money on an after hours ticket. You want to talk about seeing zero crowds at Disney. There was times where I was walking along pathways and I thought I was the only person there. It's that sparse as far as the crowds go. That's your ticket to being able to ride every ride. Always wondered. Oh, so you're referring to the dining plan. Yes, and yes, they do have really good adult beverages. So depending on where you go, my favorite ones, if you ever have the chance, go to Trader Sam's at Polynesian. You want to talk about some tasty adult beverages with a little bit of flair. Not going to ruin the surprise for you. If you've been there, you know. If you haven't been there, you have to try it. Trader Sam's at the Polynesian. How many days would be the best amount to go? So this is one of those questions I was referring to earlier. This is a very personal type of question. So what works for your family might not be the same for someone else. There are many people I know that they want to go and they go for 4 days and they hit every park and then they're gone. I know when I go, I like to go for a little bit longer and I will go to the parks probably 2 days in a row. Then I take a rest day. Then I'll do two more parks, maybe another rest day. And then my family, we absolutely love Hollywood Studios. So we usually hit that one up a second time. So again, this is relative. And these are questions that the best way, if you want, reach out to me. By all means, I can help you figure out which is best for your particular family. But it is relative. I would say the bare minimum is the 4 days, just so that you can get in one park per day. That would be the bare minimum I would say to go. How do we plan lightning lanes now? All right. So the new Lightning Lane multi pass and Lightning Lane single pass. So let's take the easy one first. Lightning Lane single pass. That is straight up replacing the individual Lightning Lanes. So Seven Dwarves, Rise of the Resistance, those ones that you were doing the individual Lightning Lanes on, those are just now Lightning Lane single pass. Just a quick name change, and that's it. Lightning Lane multi pass is a combination of some of the things from Genie Plus and some of the things from the old Fast Pass. So, Lightning Lane multi pass, you can book up to 3 rides, 3 attractions per day in advance. Now, this is one of those items where Disney is trying to bring value, not back, but more value into staying on site, because staying on site allows you to book your lightning lanes through multipass up to 7 days in advance of your arrival if you're staying on site. Those staying off site can only book the multipass lightning lanes 3 days in advance. So you're getting a jump start by staying on site by blah. You're getting a jump start staying on site, being able to book 4 days before the offsite folks. Now, what you do is, you go into the app, you're going to pick your attractions. Now, here's where it kind of harkens back to some of the old systems they use. So you get one selection from tier 1 and 2 selections from tier 2. So tier 1, for example, at Magic Kingdom, that's Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Tiana's, the big attractions not named Seven Dwarfs, right? So those are your tier 1 attractions. The tier 2 attractions are everything else. So anything you think, or if you go onto the app and you see, okay, this is stretching into 70, 80, 90-minute wait times, those are your tier 1 attractions. Now, what most people get hung up on is, well, I want to ride all the big rides. I want all the popular stuff. You can still do that. So as soon as you scan into your first ride, no matter if it's your tier 1 ride or one of your tier 2 rides, you can then select another ride from any tier. So if you book Tiana's, Carousel Progress, and Buzz Lightyear, okay, and your first ride of the day is Buzz Lightyear, as soon as you scan into that, you can immediately then book Space Mountain, because even though you already have a tier 1, once you scan in, all the tiers are gone for your availability and you can pick anything. So I hope that kind of answers that question. So how do you plan lightning lanes now? That is the best way on the spot that I can think to do that. Where is the best souvenir shop? Personal favorite souvenir shop is the Christmas shop at Disney Springs. My family is guilty of not being able to go to Disney without coming home with like 3, 4, 5, 10 new ornaments. We have a whole Disney Christmas tree at home. So that is my favorite souvenir shop. in all of Disney property. And on a side note, if you want, you can get the glass bulb ornaments there, and you can have them hand painted, personalized. I think it's $5 a word, something like that. It's not terribly much more than just getting the ornament itself, but it's definitely a way to commemorate your particular Disney vacation. Um, do you buy it? Oh, Jen, sorry. So yeah, multi-pass, you can purchase it through My Disney Experience, up to 7 days prior to arrival. So I know you actually have a trip coming up here in a couple of weeks. So about a week, over a week out, get into My Disney Experience. You can purchase your multi pass, and then that way, just like dining reservations, um, as soon as 6 a.m. hits, jump on there and start booking those lightning lanes. Yeah. Where's the best fireworks show? Hmm. So I'm still an old school guy. I love the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Last time I was there was for the after hours, and they had the enchantment fireworks. There's nothing quite like seeing the projections on the castle, the fireworks going off overhead. That is my favorite fireworks show. To actually take that a little bit further, the best place to view said fireworks, if you're looking down at the circle of the hub with the castle directly in front of you, stay towards the back of that circle, closer to Main Street. You're going to get the best sight lines of the castle and the fireworks all around. Also, if you're able to get up against one of the railings so that there is nobody standing in front of you and nobody can stand in front of you. So that is my personal favorite spot to watch Magic Kingdom fireworks. What do we got next? What's the best way to get the dining reservations you want? Okay. So we all know that with Disney, if you're staying on site, actually, it doesn't even matter if you're staying on site, losing my thought there. You can book dining reservations 60 days in advance. So on your 60-day mark, you got to get up, get on the computer, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Santa's coming? No, that's 10 a.m. Get on the computer at 6 a.m. and you're allowed to book dining reservations. Now, I always say have a plan going into this. Figure out which dining reservations you want first and foremost. Secondly, prioritize that list. And then third, so once you have, okay, this is the number one I want, this is the number two, and so on, compare that with what reservations or what restaurants go the fastest. So, for example, if you absolutely really want Liberty Tree Tavern, but you also kind of want to go to Cinderella's Royal Table, book Cinderella's Royal Table first because those are going to go the fastest. Liberty Tree Tavern, those are still going to be around while you're booking Cinderella. Now, you might be thinking, well, aren't I just booking all this at the same time? Yes, you are, but Cinderella's Royal Table can be gone in seconds. Whereas Liberty Tree Tavern, if you wait 5 minutes making all your other reservations, that one's still going to be there. So make a plan, prioritize it. And the other thing is, especially with high demand ones, Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest, Akershus, some of those, Brown Derby, those ones you may have to book towards the end of your trip because you have to realize that other people have already started their vacations, or their 60 days out was before yours. So some of those early slots early in your vacation may be filled up. You may have to wait until day 4 of your vacation to be able to book Cinderella's Royal Table. So keep that in mind, be patient. And the other thing is, there's 2 other things. Keep checking. So if you can't get the one you want, keep checking the app, keep checking online. There's a lot of times people will cancel. Now it's kind of been a little bit harder in recent years. They changed the cancellation window on a lot of reservations to 2 hours instead of 24 hours. Before it used to be 24 hours before you go to your, or the day you wanted to go, you check for cancellations. But now the cancellation window for most is only 2 hours, so it makes it harder to keep checking on that. Lastly, if you still can't get it, when the park opens, whatever park you're going to, go directly to that restaurant. Find out what time an attendant is going to be there to put your name on the walk-up list. So, for instance, the last time I was in Disney, we were scheduled to go, and this was right after Space 220 opened, and it was the highlight of my trip. I had to do it. That was the biggest thing I wanted. But I had a reservation. We actually had a medical emergency and couldn't go to Epcot that day, so I had to cancel the reservation. And at that point in time, you could not get them. So the following day, we were able to go to Epcot, made a beeline right to Space 220, and right at 10:30 in the morning, an attendant came out. I was the third person there and got my name on the walk-up list, and my family was able to enjoy dinner at Space 220 that evening. So don't ever forget about the walk-up list, but you got to go right to that restaurant that you really want. Now it's not always going to work. It worked in our favor, but I'm not going to tell you that's a guarantee. It's just a way that I know that is a last resort. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there. When is the best after party? So when is the best one? The one you're at, right? Sorry, Logan. The best after party now, depending on the time of the year, Disney will rotate which park is having after hours. So right now it is, well, at Magic Kingdom, it's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Starting next month, we have Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios, also concurrent with Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom. Now, those after parties are different than just an after hours. Those after parties, the holiday after parties, those are going to be still not super crowded. They can be, but they're going to be fairly crowded compared to a normal after hours event in February, June, whatever. So if you want low crowds, go to a regular after hours. If you want the theming and the holidays and the treats and the decorations, definitely hit up those three I mentioned here in the next month or two. Should I try to get dining reservations from my phone or computer? This is where I might be showing my age a little bit. I'm in my mid 40s now. I still prefer to do it on a computer. You can do dining reservations on your phone through the My Disney Experience app. That little plus sign in the center at the bottom, click on that. It's going to ask you what you want to do. You can do dining reservations. All of that can be done mobily. Like I said, me personally, I'm just old school. I like having this screen there. I don't have to wear my bifocals to be able to see what I'm looking at on screen to make dining reservations. How do I change a reservation? So I'm assuming, since we're talking about dining, that you're changing a dining reservation. If you go into your My Disney Experience app, I know I just said that I prefer not to, but when you're there, when you're on vacation, that is your lifeblood, the My Disney Experience app. If you don't have it set up for your vacation, do it now. That's step one of vacation planning with Disney, My Disney Experience app. But you can go in, you can modify the times, you can modify the people showing up. Now, you may have troubles if you're trying to add a person, because it may change you from a 4-top table to a 6-top, and they may not have 6-top availables if you're trying to modify for amount of people. But if you're just trying to modify the times, you go in, you can click on it, and you can modify the time there. Now, you will see all available time frames. There are chances that there may not be available times for what you're trying to modify. So that's where, trying to plan ahead and doing your initial dining reservations, the closer you can get everything right up front, the less you have to worry about modifying it later. So I hope that that answers your question. Did I miss something in here? Nope. We are caught up there. So, hey, listen, guys, I appreciate these questions coming in. Keep them going. You got anything else? I'm more than willing and more than happy to keep answering questions. I will take a moment and remind everyone that we are going to try and do these Ask Me Anythings on a monthly basis. I haven't quite got a date nailed down for November yet. We're starting to get into not quite the holiday season, but it's starting to get a little bit busier time of the year. So I will have that date and time and topic. I don't have a topic yet. If you have a topic you want me to talk about for the next Ask Me Anything, by all means, drop it in the comments and we'll see what we can do. So the other thing is, if you enjoy these things, please, like the video, subscribe. That's going to allow more people to be able to join in and see the same type of content that you enjoy seeing. So, and it helps me out. This is my passion. I love talking Disney. If you get me on the phone with I will talk your ear off until you tell me that, hey, we're not actually on Disney topics anymore. But yeah, I talk too much when it comes to Disney. Best place for ice cream. So I have two favorites. Number one, Dole Whip. It's still ice cream. At the Aloha Isle in Adventureland, you cannot go to Magic Kingdom without trying Dole Whip. So put that on your bucket list. Number two, Beaches and Cream. If you have time and you have the family with you that doesn't give up, you got to do the kitchen sink at Beaches and Cream. I can't remember. There's a whole, I know there's a whole entire can of whipped cream on it, but they literally bring it out. It is the biggest bowl of ice cream. They have different versions or different themes, but I can't even remember how much ice cream is in that, but it is literally a heaping mound. We had 5 of us working on one kitchen sink and unable to finish it, but it's delicious. What resort should I stay at? So this kind of goes with the how long should I go? This is very particular to how you vacation. Excuse me. If you're the type of person that is at the park from rope drop to the kiss goodnight and you really just need a place to lay your head, it doesn't matter. Stay value, moderate, deluxe. If you're going on a budget, look at the All Stars, look at Pop. If you want something that's, a little bit the next step up, a little better food options, let's talk about moderate resorts. If you want the top of the top, it's deluxe resorts. With the deluxe, you get extended hours in the parks. Almost you have multiple food options at every deluxe resort. So it's not just a food court style. You'll have most deluxe, if not all, have a table service dining option, and usually at least one or two other casual dining options. So, and also if you're planning on down days, do you want to spend a day at your resort? That may factor into which resort you want to stay at. Proximity to certain parks. I hear a lot of people, it's their bucket list. They want to stay on the monorail track. So that's Grand Floridian, Poly, or Contemporary. A lot of people will choose Pop Century over All Stars because of the Skyliner. Same thing with Caribbean over, say, Coronado because of the access to the Skyliner. So there's pros and cons to every single resort. The thing is finding out which one works for you. So, how long do you want to stay? What your budget is? What kind of amenities do you want? how large your party size is. If you have a family of 6, well, that narrows down a lot of options. So you can only stay pretty much either suites or villas. That takes out any of the standard rooms at all the resorts. So there's a lot of factors that really go into which resort you should stay at. But unfortunately, I can only give a general answer because it's such a personalized decision. You're going to spend a lot of money on your trip. You want to make sure you get the right resort for you. So maybe next time we can talk about some of the pros and cons of each individual resort. Maybe that could be a topic for November. We'll look into that. Can I eat at a deluxe resort if I stay at another resort? Yes, you can. Now, if you have a table service reservation, you can drive right up to that deluxe resort and you can park there and go to your dining reservation, and they allow you to park there for 3 hours, and then you got to go. Now, if you want to, now I said this about Trader Sam's earlier at the Poly. If you haven't tried it, you got to go. Well, sometimes you can't get a reservation, right? Or if it's just a casual dining that someone recommended to you, you can't drive and park at a resort you're not staying at unless you have a reservation. The work around that is, now this takes some time. So the easiest answer to encompass everything is take a bus to Disney Springs and then take a bus from Disney Springs to the resort you want to go to and just get off at the bus stop. And then you are more than welcome to go in and eat at any dining option that you want. In special circumstances like the monorail, you can take the bus to Magic Kingdom and then take the resort monorail to the stop that you want. So there are options, but yes, you can eat at a resort that you are not staying at. It just depends on where you're eating and how you're going to get there. Um, so, so we're about a half hour in here. I got time for maybe one or two more questions. So if you got something else, please, I got a little bit of time left. I know the one question I get asked a lot, and I'm going to kind of ask a question and answer my own question. When should I book a Disney vacation? And my answer to this question is always as early as you can. So, as soon as you have made the decision that, yes, we are going to Disney World, that's it, we're not debating anymore, book the trip then. With a Disney hotel package, you can put a $200 deposit down, and that secures your room. So your package is booked, and then you can make payments on it up to 30 days prior to arrival. So your Disney package is booked. Now, what does that do for you? Number one, it locks in your room. Now, I've seen it time and time again. Trust me, I'm on a lot of these online forums, social media forums, and I keep seeing these questions pop up. It's October now. Why is everything booked for December? Why is everything booked in January? Well, most of the people that booked for December, they booked it last year. So they secured their room. If you're trying to get into a Disney resort now for December, it's not going to happen. So by booking early, you secure your room. And I have other people say, well, I'm waiting till a promo comes out. Well, guess what? Even if you already have a package booked, you can modify that package and add the promo on. If you're waiting for it to release, unless you know exactly when it releases and you're on your computer that day, chances are you may not be able to get that promo because everyone that already has a package booked can modify and get that promo. So, for instance, I said before about free dining. If that free dining announcement has been out for 3 days, you may not be able to get that promo. Inventory for rooms goes that fast. The other reason to book early is Disney raises prices every single year. Their Other than death and taxes, that's the only other absolute in life. Disney raising prices. If you book your package early, you not only lock in your room, but you also lock in your price. So if and when, not if, when Disney raises prices, you already have your package booked. So you have that price locked in. Now this is kind of salesy of me, telling you when to book, but especially with the promo portion, you'll have travel agents like me, like I'll have several clients waiting on a promo. As soon as that promo drops, I'm on the computer the day a promo releases, and I'm adding that promo onto clients. So that's why promos will go away, or the if you wait to book till after a promo releases, inventory can be very slim. So that's one of the reasons why you may not get that. Does Disney Springs do lights? They did, and it was glorious. It was a short run. I believe it's more of a test run. But they did a drone show over Disney Springs. Unfortunately, that has currently ended. So, unfortunately for your trip coming up here in a couple of weeks, Jen, I don't believe you're going to see lights over Disney Springs. So, you will get to see it decorated for Christmas. One thing cool about Christmas at Disney Springs, they have the Christmas tree hunt. They have, was it a dozen Christmas trees themed to different movies? You can get a map and you can go around, and there's different stickers. You find the different trees and you apply them to the map. It's a lot of fun. I do it every time I'm there in the holiday season. So while you may not get lights, you still can. There's still plenty to do there. So, all right, I think that's. I hope that answers your question, and I think that's going to be about it for tonight. If you have any other questions, by all means, please reach out to me. I'll be glad to answer anything I can. Again, I really appreciate when you guys spend time with me and get to ask these questions. I hope you learned something. I hope you have fun. So keep an eye out for the announcement for our November Ask Me Anything segment. I'll get that out as soon as possible. And please, once again, if you do like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. That definitely helps me out. So thanks again, and we'll see you real soon. Bye now.